Okay, enough of that. Welcome to the Community Hotline. For the community, by the community, presented by 88 Real Estate Media. Today, we have the amazing Brian from Kenya joining us today. He is a entrepreneur, a really interesting guy that I met during my travels. He's into tech. He's into a lot of crazy things. I'll let him introduce himself going now. What's going on, Brian? Introduce yourself.
What's going on? So my name is Brian. I work as a tester, software tester. I've also recently gone into photography, so I'm learning how to shoot, edit, shoot videos as well. And I'm also supposed to be learning how to design game assets so that I can like start trading them on the blockchain side of things. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, into crypto, blockchain, tech, photography, videography. You're like you're learning some serious hard skills right now to secure your future. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, you're gonna. What's the highest ambition right now?
Highest ambition right now. I don't know, man. Right now, I'm just trying to see where I can put in my money and just to secure like a future. So I've been moving my money around. Actually, when you mentioned that you should come on this hotline, I was thinking like of what I might say. Like how will I tell? What will I tell guys about how they can make money during this period? And I think one of the things they should look into is like money market. Like I don't know a lot of finance so far, but money market seems like a good thing to do. So that's what I've been trying to do for the past few weeks.
Okay, so let's get into that. Let's get right into that then. Talking about money, like what is money? What is money? How do you make money? Why does it exist? How do you make money?
What is money? Money is a way to exchange value, like anything you need. It's a universal way of exchanging value, I guess. So like if I need your services, uh, you might be willing to pay with a t-shirt, but how can you exchange a t-shirt if I don't really see any value in that? So I think the thing we can agree on would be money. So that's how we exchange value for different services that we need. Yes. How you make money, I don't know. You gotta be creative. You gotta go into things you like. Like for me, things I've been doing for a while are like selling things on the side, like mobile accessories and so on. I've done graphic design on the side. I've done computer repairs, mobile repairs. So anything I can do to get a small buck, I do it.
Got
I
it.
save it. Yeah, the thing I do most is save it. I don't get it and spend it like all night at the club or something. Yeah, so that's a very key point, I guess.
Don't get all your money and spend it at the club. I love it. How
Yeah.
do you, if you were to go into, I guess, how has your relationship with money changed from now when you were in high school?
I think it's pretty much the same, because funny enough, in high school, I used to be a prefect, and as prefects, we'd have this time where like we'd help with serving food in the dining hall.
Yeah.
So what we do is guys used to run side businesses also, so that guys would be able to sneak in like snacks in school. I was in a private high school, so snacks weren't really allowed that much. Maybe like the time you'd come home from holidays, the first few days, if they don't do an inspection, you'd be able to like enjoy your snacks for a while till they do an inspection. So you had to be creative. So if they do an inspection, it means guys need snacks, so the guys would bring in snacks to sell, so they make the money like that. At the time I wasn't like really able to do that kind of thing, like bring snacks. So we'd get creative with the food, the meals we'd serve at the dining hall. So you'd steal some of the cakes like served on the Thursday, you go back and sell to some people. So I've always been on that grinding thing, I guess.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Do you think what would you say is like the like how would you explain money to someone like that's in high school then right now? If a kid came up to you and was like, "What is money?" How would you explain it? Like what would you say to them?
I'd say money is I don't know. Money is anything you need it to be. If you're in high school, like probably ask him what he needs, what he thinks he needs, but he feels he can't get it right now. Then I'll use that to like explain how having money will help him get that, I guess. Because I always point my need to get money to, I guess, an idea I had a while back. Because when I was younger, I was doing all these crazy projects like science things.
Mhm.
Then I guess I hinted to myself like for me to do better things, because I used to be a big fan of Dexter's Laboratory. So I was saying for like you to be able to do these kind of big things, you need probably more money to be able to buy these things, I guess. So I guess that's why I like to trace back my urge to get money, I guess, a lot, so that I can have money to invest in a small project I'm doing, I
See,
guess.
that's a good point. That's a really good point. So you kind of always saw money as like, oh, I wanted to build a huge lab like Dexter, and then
Yeah,
anything that you needed, and you understood that money was going to get you there. Like whatever you needed, you like money was the way to get you to that thing, right?
yeah, exactly.
That's kind of that's I think that's how like a lot of people see it. I think um man, that's terrible for the kids who are like super rich then, you know, like if you're just a rich kid and then your parents give you everything, and like that totally messes up your understanding of money then, doesn't it, at that point?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I mean, because I know a lot of people. I think I see when you see like generational wealth going on, like people whose grandparents were super rich and their great grandparents were rich and then their parents were rich, and like
yeah,
you can kind of see like they're not really in the business of like making big huge, you know, strides and like making more money. It's more about like maintaining that money for the generation.
yeah.
And it's I don't know. How do you is there education about money in schools in Kenya? Like do parents give you like good education about it?
No, not at all, to not nearly enough, especially in school. It's not like part of the curriculum at all. And I don't know. I don't know if it's by design, because I've been seeing this. I don't know if I'd call it a meme that says it's by design. They don't teach you finance so that you can be part of the system to keep trying, and I don't know, like working to try and fulfill a promise so that these other guys who already knew about money can keep getting rich or something. So I don't know if it's by design or what.
Yeah. Do you think it's
Yeah.
by design? What are your thoughts on that?
It's possible that it's by design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that it's by design. Yeah.
That the minister of education in the world, they all just came together and they're like, you know, we're not going to teach money in school. We're going to make sure,
Yeah.
everyone's in debt and they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're selling hope. Yeah. If you finish school, you get a good job. What? That's the good life they're selling.
That's the
Yeah. Yeah.
and have you bought into that?
Not entirely. Of course, you need some level of education to do things, but it doesn't have to be like you getting an education would mean that you'll become successful. It doesn't really mean that you'll be successful just because you got an education. Go and do a 9 to 5 job, not necessarily.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Got it. I like that. I like that. I like the fact that, you know, you were kind of always around it. You know, in school, people were selling snacks. I love that. That's a great example. Let's move towards education. Tell us what has your education been like throughout your life?
Like what? Like in what sense exactly?
Yeah, that was kind of a general question. I thought about it. I was like, how
Yeah.
do you answer that? I guess in the sense of like, do you feel like you've learned more outside of like a formal education versus or did you feel like you learned a formal education set you up to succeed in the real world?
Mm, I guess the formal education formed like a pretty good basis for me to learn anything outside that. Like, take it like it gives you, it's like hinting you at things that are out there so that you can pick what you want and go with it if you're interested, for example. Yeah, because like I've always liked gadgets, electronics, and like in school I did computers. Right now I'm working with computers, so anything in that field is up to me to decide. Like I didn't study art, but I learned how to do graphic design, and I used it also as a business. So it's not part of my formal education, but formal education gave me the basis to know, okay, this is a computer, this is what you can do with it.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, so I guess it goes from there. Then the world is your oyster.
Got it. The world is your oyster. I love it. How do you feel like there's a disparity in education in Kenya specifically, like from the different neighborhoods, or do you think generally like education's pretty much like the same? Where would you say the education's at?
I'm not really sure because I don't know if I have anything to compare it to, but I'd assume that it's probably like the same across the board. I think if there's any disparity that you may notice with someone, it will be depending on the person's individual, like his level of interest with education. Because the thing that comes to mind right now is like guys when you're in school learning algebra, guys would be like, yeah, how am I even going to use this in life? So I guess that kind of attitude affects how much education can help you. I never had that attitude. I guess I didn't hate learning, for example. So I guess if you hate learning, then I don't think it can really benefit you at all.
Right. Did you guys? Did you? Was there a specific teacher that you thought really like changed your life, or that was really like supporting you?
Really supporting me, yes. I remember my physics teacher in high school was called Mr. Sikuku.
Goku.
Yeah, Sikuku. Yeah, it was a tough guy. He was strict, but also funny, and also like a good teacher as well. And I remember there's a time, I don't know, I was doing some research like at the library. I saw this, like it was way outside our curriculum kind of things, talking about transistors and whatnot. So I used to draw them down, like I'm trying to build like design a very basic computer. Hopefully that one day I'll be able to, I don't know, do something with it. Then I remember writing him a letter, like I knew this much of information and I assumed he knew more. So I was writing him a letter to help me like bridge that gap between what I know and what I wanted to know to be able to build something. I remember writing him a letter. I can't remember how he took it, but it was a bit funny for me thinking back. Like we're like, hey, I know this is an AND gate. Can you please tell me more about it? Because I'm trying to build like a computer. So I don't know. It's funny. It's funny.
I love it. No,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like what people miss these days is that curiosity factor, and it's like I think I see it like, so I've been teaching second grade recently, right?
Mhm.
And what I see is I see a lot of these kids, they just give up too easily, right? Like when things get tough, or like, you know, when studies get hard, they just kind of like give up, and they don't want to do it anymore. And then you have like the teachers who, you know, kind of have a strong lack of I don't know. I don't know if you experience this, but like teachers are just like, some teachers are lazy. Like they've just been doing it too long, and they don't have any passion anymore for it. Um,
Yeah.
so I can imagine, you know, you start, you know, in second grade, you're super passionate, like, yeah, I have so much energy, you know, I'm 8 years old. And then, you know, like 5, 10 years later, every year you have these teachers who are just kind of like beating you down, just like, you know, stop making
Yeah.
noise, do your homework, da 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 da, learn this, open your book, like let's learn. You're just, I don't want to learn this 10 years straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Where do you see like the future of education going?
I've uh I've heard a government trying to come up with what is it? What are they calling it? Like a skills based kind of learning system. I'm not sure where they are at implementing it. So like I don't know if you'll start with a formal, like probably till I don't know till what grade you start at, so that they can go to the skills based learning. So
Right.
that's one direction that I see that might be going on. like probably in the future. I'm not sure how fast we'll get to that, like here in Kenya.
Okay. What do you mean by skills-based learning?
So like, because the story that we always get is you go to school, get an education, become a doctor or something, like a lawyer, those kind of jobs. So I guess people with that train of thought don't really think like the arts, for example, can be a career that you can earn from, for example. So I guess if you're playing to your skills, I feel skills are to do with mostly your creative side. So anything in the art industry, for example, can be a possible career. So if they are able to like see that in you when you're young, and they
Right.
nurture that, I guess that's skills based learning. That's what I assume it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say? What would you say is a defining moment in your life then?
Defining moment. We've had this talk before. I can't remember when I said that at the time.
I know.
Defining moment.
That's why there should be defining moments every single day. We live in the present. It's
It's a dynamic world.
huh?
It's a dynamic world, so shouldn't be one defining moment.
Yeah.
Defining moments.
Let's talk about
What's a defining moment?
yeah. What's like a defining moment that you were this person, you were on this path, and then something happened to you, and now your mindset changed. You learned something new. Your thinking changed. Your attitude changed. Something that happened, I guess, in the last year for you.
Defining moment. The thing that comes to mind right now, because since it's like the whole timeline. My ambition. I like to go back to my ambition because I remember there's. I wish I had it here. There's like this metal container that we use as a piggy bank. It's made by this Jokali guys in Kenya. So it's a piggy bank, yes, but it's just a metal thing with a slot where you can dump coins.
Right.
And I remember the first time I saved and the thing was full. I think it was my first 100 shillings. And I remember running to my dad to help me break it open. Then it was full of so many coins. And I think I went back now to my mom to get a note. I don't know what I did with the money, but I guess that also builds up to part of why I'm always like, you can get more kind of attitude. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I still have that thing. I'll show you. I'm not sure where it is. I still have it somewhere.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the piggy bank when you were able to basically save money. I like that. I like that.
My first milestone. Yeah. 100 shillings. That's $1 for those who don't know how much 100 shillings is.
100 shillings. Yes.
Yeah.
What have you been doing to entertain yourself during this time?
I watch a lot of series, so that's what I've been doing a lot. I've been catching up with Westworld. I'm
Westworld.
watching, SEAL Team. Those are the two that I'm watching a lot right now because I already finished part where it's at. Empire as well, Suits as well. I finished a while back, but I watch a lot of different things. Movies. I've seen a couple of movies. I've seen Extraction. I've seen this other movie. I can't remember which other movie came out recently.
What do you feel about Extraction? I feel like with the one with Chris Hemsworth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like whenever I see action movies of like the lead character falling like 3 stories, getting back up, getting hit by a car, getting back up,
Yeah.
happens in one day. Like,
Yeah.
is that believable to you? Like, do people what's going on with that?
It's entertainment. I don't really think too much about it, but I guess you're making sense. That reminds me, the time I saw an article about, I think it was on Gizmodo. They're trying to say, like, scientists came up with this theory, like, if there ever was a Batman, he wouldn't be able to live that kind of life for a very long time. I think they were saying he'd be able to do that, like, for probably 2 years maximum, because your body getting that kind of beating, it's not humanly possible. So I guess that's what you're trying to say. But it's entertainment, so I don't really think too much about it.
Okay, entertainment. I like that. I see you doing a lot of stuff right now with photography. Tell me, how did you when did you get into it? What was the how do you like it? Where do you want to go with it?
So I got into photography last year in October. That's around my birthday. That's when I bought the first camera. I got into it because for my day job where I work, we work at this company where it's a social media platform where we share short videos. So with time, I started also like creating the videos, helping other content creators actually to create videos because some of them didn't have good enough phones, and I had this phone that could shoot 4K and Nokia 8. So I started helping them with that. Then I remember meeting up some different photographers coming to videographers as well, coming to work just to shoot for different reasons, for different departments, separate from ours. And the shop around for a camera so that we can also be doing our own professional work, our own internal content creation. So I guess around that time is when the idea came into mind. So I met this other photographer and I was trying to ask him like, what do you think I should do? Because I'm trying to get into videography. At least that's where my interest was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him I can shoot with this phone. It shoots 4K. The guy had a Sony A6400 at the time. So he told me that I also asked you about the same advice because I remember around that same time I went to this event where I met a photographer. I also discussed with him and he was selling his camera. And I wasn't sure if it's a good deal or not, if it's a good camera or not, because there's this fight between Nikons and Canons and Sony and so on. So at the time I didn't know. Yeah. So I remember asking you about that, and you told me the camera was going for 55,000. That's $550. Yeah. So I remember you telling me that you wouldn't do that. You'd rather put up an Airbnb or something. Then I asked someone else, which was this photographer I was talking about, the guy with the A6400.
Yeah.
So I told him my ambition. And what he basically told me was, so if your goal is to do professional videography work, I think the best thing to do is to get a camera so that you can learn the basics of a camera. And that was a tipping point. That was the final nail on the cross. So as soon as he told me that, I hit up the guy and I just got the camera. So that was a Nikon D5300 with a prime lens, 50mm, and a kit lens of I think it's 18 to 55.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started just shooting with that, and I've been just learning since that. Then recently, I also got a Canon 6D.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, with an 85mm prime lens, a very manual, and I think I actually have it somewhere here. Vintage lens. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Look at that piece of glass.
Yeah.
That's what photographers are. They just spend their whole life just buying lenses and spending their
yeah. Yeah.
What
it's expensive but interesting as well.
Yeah. So now that you've kind of been doing photography for a little bit now, what do you like more, photography or video?
So I haven't done enough video to decide. So I've been just before the corona hit, we started creating like content at work. And anytime I get like a weird inspiration, I can do. I try to shoot a short video with a camera. So I'm still learning video. I feel I need to do more video to decide, but photography is also interesting. Then again, also now since I'm not taking a lot of photos, I'm sure someone else would say like, "What? You can get so many creative ideas at home," but I feel like the space is too limiting. So what I've been doing is I've been going back to the photos that I did a poor job at editing, just to try and improve my editing skills with that.
Yeah. Have you been watching all the YouTube videos with editing?
Yeah, some, not too many. The videos I've been watching were about actually video editing, because I'm also using Resolve to do some videos for work.
Okay.
So I got this course where I'm supposed to be learning how to color grade, but I've actually stalled on that. But I just know the basics of just doing like portrait videos on Resolve, which is a bit of motion graphics on it.
Yeah. Have you looked into these? Have you looked into these apps where what's it called, like Mojo? And
yeah, I actually have Mojo. I've seen your video talking about Mojo. I have Mojo.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess when I have a bigger screen, I rarely go back to fiddle a lot like on the mobile phone. So I prefer to just work on the laptop.
Yeah. Okay.
Mostly, yeah.
Okay. So then, kind of just to wrap it up, what are 3 pieces of life advice, you have for the youth that are coming up? Did you freeze? No. Did you freeze? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are 3 pieces of life advice you have for the youth?
3 pieces of life advice. Respect your elders. Sorry?
Yeah. No, sorry. So yeah, go on. Respect your elder.
Respect your elders. Pieces of advice. Stay curious. And have fun.
Okay. Can you give 3 examples, like 3 stories in your life where you live by those pieces of advice? The respect your elders, you know.
Stay curious.
Yeah, stay curious
and have fun.
and have fun. Do you have like can you tell us 3 like stories in your life of where you implemented that? Like 1 example each.
One example each of what respecting my elders. I guess I've always respected my elders. Now that you mention it, I can remember this time. I guess most of the times when you travel as a family, like extended family, meeting up with cousins and whatnot, I'm normally in the group that stays with the folks a lot. And that's how I can relate that to like being around my elders a lot, joking with them, as opposed to just being with my peers. So I feel like I can do both. I navigate between both. But at the start of the, let me call it like road trip, I'd be with the elders. Then later on is when I'll go now hang out with my cousins and so on.
Okay.
For being curious, doing my videography, graphics. I also forgot to mention like web design, just repairs. Like, how do you know if I open this thing up, what I'll see? So that's just stay curious always.
And have fun.
Having fun any minute. I don't know, crack jokes, go out with friends, not to the club, just go out, see the outdoors. There's a time we started doing that with a bunch of friends of mine. But now one traveled to Canada, then now with Corona, we can't even try and do anything. But we were doing like hiking. We went to Mount Longonot. There's another time as EOS Nairobi, we had a guy called Phil Mesnia who came to train us on EOS.io blockchain training. And we took him to National Park, for example, and we went to some hippos somewhere. I guess I can't remember the name of the place. So like, I don't just go out, have fun, do fun things.
I like it. Okay. All right. Well then, thank you for joining us. Thanks everyone for watching today. Before I forget, 88 Real Estate Media is looking for members to join the oversight committee to build the best mindfulness school. Shoot us a message if you want to learn more. And if you do business in the real estate industry, please do consider hiring us. Other than that, you have any last words? You got for the audience over here, Ryan?
Stay safe. Corona is real, but you can fight it. So just stick to your hygienic ways, hygiene routines, and be in constant communication with your friends so that you don't lose your mind or something, or just find a way to stay entertained, a legal way to stay entertained, I guess.
All right. Thank you.